Isn't one of the biggest draws to ban overblue reclamation? Why am I playing it? You come and asking me about Bant's reclamation? I have played I have been to the Bant's reclamation drawing board so many times. So many times have I scammed myself and scammed you, quite frankly, trying to put Wilderness Reclamation in my Bant deck. Bant is just not as good a reclamation deck as Temur. We can maybe play 4-color now that we have access to the Bant Triome. But the Bant is not a better reclamation deck than Temur. Bant is a good control deck too, but no, that's in my experience not where you want to be with Bant. We have so many times scammed ourselves into thinking Bant's reclamation is a good archetype. It's just not. Temur is good. Bant is much worse than Temur, but this control list has been pretty tried and true. This is not the first time I'm ever playing Bant control. I think during the trophy race, this had maybe the highest this Bant control had maybe the highest trophy percentage. The problem was it just took like, you know, it just took all day to play it. Is the artwork gonna be bugged for a few days? I have no idea. Yeah, Solitaire Reclamation is also Wrenn and 6 is just the truth. Wrenn and 6 is just like, it is just the reason to play, or not, sorry, the reason is a bit strong. Okay, the mana's not so bad that this is a good line, I think. Although I don't have a second Bant Triome. To be fair. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw a card here. If my opponent uses a removal spell on Ice-Fang, I'll just Solitude their Ice-Fang. Yeah, but Bant is a very tried and true deck at this point. Okay, bouncing my Ice-Fang, plays Mountain. I probably have to Ending. I really want to draw a stupid land, but there's no way to guarantee, of course, that our top card is a land. Surge, good Twitch Prime, appreciate you. Okay, I mean, got another Solitude. Let's see what we draw. Okay. I'd really prefer to not pitch my Teferi hero, so I think I'm likely to try to chump block with the Ice-Fang. Surge, I thank you for your Twitch Prime. Thank you for your Twitch Prime if I failed to thank you earlier. Okay, that can resolve. I think if they go fetch land, sack, I'll Ice-Fang in response. Wrenn and 6 is the exiled card. I don't care about my opponent getting 4 life at all. So if I draw a different white card, I'm probably going to Solitude here. Maybe I should Solitude anyways. Yeah, I don't have the 5th lands. Don't have the 5th land in hands. Kind of throwing away value by chump blocking. It's tough though. I think Red has better matchup against Cascade and Blue Red Merc than Temur, but I digress. Yeah. I'm not saying that it's all upside to play Temur, but overall, like the deck is just much more powerful as Temur in my experience. I think I'm going for the double Spreading Seas. Next turn we can go like Ice-Fang Yorion in hand, try to draw a lot of cards. Yorion in my opponent's hand as well. Yorion in my hands. I was promised a Triome. It's here. It was Besajude. Yeah, these basics are nice, but I might have to pick some up, actually. SNC is live on Emoto. It's live on in treasure chests, and I opened Asper's headquarters in a treasure chest and fired up the stream. And we're here now. Okay, I'm not gonna run the Yorion into a very likely counterspell. Is this the plains? Yeah. I guess this is worse against Tail's End, maybe? So do we think that they've got 2 counter spells? We're on this up to this morning. I got my car washed. I did some packing. Spent a lot of time in existential dread. Just rocking back and forth slowly like I do most mornings. Dude, they got 80 cards in their deck and 2 of them are counter spells. Wild. Afternoon, everybody. I think ending on treasure. Oh, I missed it. I missed the line. That was definitely it. Yeah, this is game 1. Evoke Solitude. Pitching Solitude. Classic. Complain about your opponent running well while you had a out to it in your hand. Let's say it is Yorion, 3 mystery cards. And the Ragavan again. 3 counter spells is illegal, I think, in your 80 card deck. Okay, they agree. They agree. Gonna hold up the Wandering Emperor here. It's maybe the first time I'm ever casting this card on stream. I play tested some with it off stream when it first came out. I ran really bad with it, and I just wasn't that impressed by it. But I do think this card's good. Then we can shuffle away the Verdict if we want to. 4 mana, Omnath. Says to do with all 4 Solitudes 1225. I mean, one of these Solitudes. Did I Solitude pitching a Solitude deck on Ice-Fang? But I am playing 80 cards there, you know. You're right, I can't deny. Okay, so let's shuffle away this Verdict. Although I guess that ending is how the growth is how I'm ending the Omnath. Not sure how important ending Omnath is. I want to Spreading Seas their mountain. I think I also want to keep a Jace. Backup Jace does seem pretty important. And then I'll make another Samurai, so if they want to get through with their Ragavan, they have to have 2 removal spells. Or I guess just Fury. Or I guess just Fury. Ending on one of the tokens. Is it a red land? Yeah, also a red land. Asking a lot. Okay, so up a game against 4-color Yorion. I know Spreading Seas were very good that game. They're usually not that good. I think we're cutting them. I do like Force of Negation a lot against 4-color. Dress Down is also okay. It's been a while since I played this matchup. I usually don't like the 4th Solitude, and I usually like 1 or 2 Verdicts. I usually like 1 or 0 March. And then I think we'll play like 3 Vetoes, 2 or 3 dress down. Like if we see Eternal Witness, like it's easily like 3rd dress down. Not seeing Witness, it's maybe you just want to start off with 2. Then we can do like 4th Veto, maybe play 4th Solitude, and then play 3rd dress down if we see Witness for game 3. Ready for new Ephemerate Bant deck? Yeah, me too. I think that I was kind of considering playing that with the new Fiend Hunter, the new Bant Fiend Hunter. I do like that card. Any card decks you think one-ofs are worth citing in? I mean, yes, and like I think very specifically in in decks like this, like Kiki Chord that plays all these tutors, you want to have a lot of 1-drops that you can tutor for specifically. But as far as like, you know, I don't think there's any hard and fast rule. I personally tend to like to have generic and like more flexible sideboard cards in my Yorion control decks. In more proactive Yorion decks, you can play more one-ofs, but there's just not like a hard rule for any of that, you know. Just all depends. Is Vivian any good in Kiki Chord? I don't think so. I did open a new Vivian. I forgot to put Vivian on my tier list. I did forget that there is a somewhat convoluted combo with the new Vivian and what's the card? The sneak attack for Planeswalker creature, whatever that card's called. I can't even remember exactly how the combo works. You go like Accomplice, Vivian, sack her Accomplice, get a Feldar Guardian, flicker the Vivian, minus, sack Guardian, get Karmic Guide, get back Guardian, flicker the Vivian, and then you get Kiki Jiki, I bet, somehow. Maybe, yeah. 3-drop Feldar, Karmic Kiki. Kiki copies Karmic Guide, which gets you back your Guardian. Yeah, okay, that's it. Yeah, so like I don't know, I don't think that that's probably going to be like a great deck, especially when there's already been this like Luca Planesbound Accomplice deck where you put an Emrakul into play. Maybe this ends up being a little better than that. But as my my master and teacher Andrea Mengucci once said, these words echo in my my mind daily. No deck was ever made better by putting Kiki Jiki into it. Stop. My opponent just has Veil of Summer. It's they just do have it. So do I counterspell and force back? I think so. Goblins, yeah. I'm obviously like it's mostly a joke, right? But I'm just quoting my teacher. Fragile, consistent, low chance of success. What are we waiting for? I'm confused. Sorry. Stop. I'm gonna concede to a Veil of Summer. Okay, Yorion in my opponent's hand. Their Yorion's better than mine because they drew an Abundant Growth and I didn't. I think I just pass. I could have played Untap Land to March of Otherworldly Light their Yorion. I don't know that they go for it. It's all this open mana, though. Can March the Growth. I would rather concede. Yeah, the art of all the new cards are bugged. I don't know when they get unbugged. The Kiki deck's in the stream deck or somewhere. You can dig for it. Opponent definitely has some counter magic. I think I have to jam here though. Step 1, I guess. Gab has borderless up, but art's fine. Still looking dead for me. Okay. This is good enough for me, I think. I guess I can march in Excel and Endurance. But they're going to draw a lot of cards. Their Rin's a huge problem. A little early to concede. It's just too bad in this matchup. Ugh. Rough runnings today, I guess. Mulling to 5 on the play against Omnath is just not great. We could run super well, of course. We have the Bant Triome to save us. What percent chance of winning a game does not become worth playing out for me? It just kind of depends. Like, if I'm playing against the 4-color Omnath deck, and I'm like there, I was maybe like 1 or 2%, maybe even like 3% there. But boy, that game was miserable. My chances of sticking around get a little lower. I don't think I'm supposed to jam the Teferi. It's close, just because I'm behind, but okay, I'm on a mold of 5 on the play. I think I have to counter any 2-for-1. I don't think I can just like let my opponent resolve a 2-for-1, unfortunately. Loopy, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you. It's kind of a weird dash. I think if my opponent's dashing Ragavan there, they don't have counter spells, so my Teferi isn't going to be shutting off any cards in their hands. Their hand's likely to be very threat heavy. Yeah, Bant Triome confirmed unplayable, huh? How's Triome been? I mean, it hasn't turned any of these losses into wins. It's obviously like a, not the biggest upgrade in the deal. It's been a card I've been like wanting to have access to for a long time. Think any non-Triome cards will actually stick around in Modern? It's really hard for me to answer that question without like getting to play with any of them yet. I posted a list of cards that I like. The only card that I think is like really good is the Riveteer's Charm. I think that, like, of all the spells, that's the only card that seems like it's going to be really good to me. I think there's a lot of other like fringe playable options that we're going to explore and mess around with. I don't really see any of these cards becoming huge staples unless I've like really misevaluated Ob Nixilis. Like I don't see any of these cards being crazy. I don't think that Ob is going to be a huge Modern staple. I think it'll be fringe playable maybe, but maybe I like super misevaluated it. But it's just again, it's just, obviously people want to know what things are like as fast as possible. But for me, it just always takes me some time. I got to actually play with the cards. I got to cast them a couple times. You had Hearst on this list, using it for card board. So I mean, a lot of cards on the list I had, I thought were good on power level, right? I thought they're. You know how my downstairs neighbors have dogs downstairs that they leave outside and neglect all the time? They got another dog. They got a third dog. They got a third dog. Living in the den. I totally lost my train of thought. The psychic damage was too much. Yeah, we gonna leave our 2 dogs outside all day in the hot Texas summer, and they bark because they're miserable and they have no water out there. You know what we should do? We should get a 3rd dog. Oh, Hearst. Yeah, a lot of these cards I have on this list I like on power level reasons, but there's also like a lot of cards in Modern that like, oh sorry, wrong tweet. There's like a lot of cards in Modern that I think are like close based on power level. Cards I think are interesting. And like I think Hearst is a really powerful card. I don't think it fits into any existing decks. I think Aven Heartstabber is a powerful card. I don't think it fits into any established decks. I think Lodger Shredder is a good card. I do think it fits into a established deck, maybe, but also maybe not. Tenacious Underdog too, like Unlucky Witness, Ob, and I'm gonna obviously do my best and work really hard to try to find a home for these cards because that's what I do. That's my entire life is trying to find homes for cards like this and try to like see where they go. But and I'm working on it. I got some ideas. But it's also, you know, it's also really hard for me to know for sure before I start casting them. Before I just start putting these cards into play, it's really tough for me to say for sure what's good and what's not. I'm actually not in the worst shape ever here, huh? Murktide Ob seems pretty good. I mean, so this is what my chat has been riddled with these kinds of comments. Ob Nixilis seems great when I have a 7 power creature in play. And like, yep. But also like if you have a Murktide Regent in play and you get to resolve a 3-mana Planeswalker, that's a game you win every single time in any game of Modern. I would say like, you know what I mean? When you get to have a 7-mana creature and then 7-mana creature resolve a 3-mana Planeswalker, you already win that game every single time. You know what I mean? And like I can't read this comment anymore. I can't take it. It's too much. Spore up next Goblin Bombardier deck. Yeah. Like I think I have some shells that I think Ob will be good in. I've been doing some deck building. I have hopes, but what I can't do is read that comment even one more time. I've just seen it too many times. I'm gonna try to find my land for next turn. Failed. About turn 2, objects by sacking Ragavan. Again, I have a deck that plays both of those cards, but like, listen, if you're casting Ragavan on turn 1, you hit your opponent, you resolve your 3-mana Planeswalker. If it's Teferi, Time Raveler, if it's Kaito, it doesn't matter what your 3-mana Planeswalker is, you're winning the game. You're ahead. You're like super ahead. No matter what scenario we're imagining, if this is what's happening, you're ahead. And like, so like, but like, and I guess maybe what I'm not saying, and I thought was kind of obvious, and this is an issue I always have, so bear with me, but I always kind of feel like people should be able to connect the dots that I don't articulate out loud. But what I'm saying when I say that is, this is already good. You need to try to figure out so if Ob is already going to win you games that you would win anyways, we've established this with these comments, with these snarky, terrible, toxic streamer comments. What does Ob look like when you are even on board? What does Ob look like when you are behind on board? And I think that the card is going to be pretty underwhelming when you're behind on board or even on board. Is kind of my prediction and why I'm a little bit hesitant to say the card. I'm very excited about it. Ob can have effect as a cast, so first one gets countered just to get another. It is on cast. It's my impression that if you connive, or in response to the Ob, in response to the connive trigger, you can remove the creature. Is that if I wasn't sure? I was thinking about that this morning. I made a note to double check. I didn't actually double check that that's how it worked. So we can oh, causality. Okay. Well, as you cast a spell, you may sacrifice a creature X. Okay, no, you cannot do that. So that does make the card stronger. You don't get to remove the creature in response. However, if you do know your opponent has Ob in the deck, you should just be sorcery speed killing your opponent's creatures. Ob fits something better to bombardment with Bloodghast, other sacrifice. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that is going to be a good home for it. Wait, why are they living ending? They have a grief. I have a solitude. I agree. I'm working on it. We're gonna play. I have both a mid-range version with Ob and like a Goblin Bombardment, Bloodghast, more grindy version of Ob ready. It's gonna take a couple days to get our hands on the cards. It's gonna take a couple days to start casting them. It'll be a fun journey. It'll be a fun journey. I just wanted to connect that thought because I feel like I just hadn't connected it yet. Like Ob is good when at parity or behind, only if your opponent overvalued Ob, yeah. Will Ob replace Kaito and Grixis Shadow? Maybe. I'm honestly like a little frustrated about Kaito and Grixis Shadow, because it's like I was playing Kaito and Grixis Shadow like immediately, and I really liked the card, and I ended up running really bad with the deck, right? I ended up running really bad, and it was a rough stream with a lot of people going, I don't know, Spike, I think Kaito's just not good enough. It was a really rough stream, and now Kaito's like really stock in Grixis Shadow. It was rough. But that's just kind of how it goes. Like, you play with the new cards, you run bad. Chat's like, Spike, I'm unsubscribing. I'm sorry. Maybe if you had a better record, I'd stick around. Oh, I didn't reveal? I can't remember the last time I made that misclick. I haven't been playing mini companion decks lately, I guess. Spike, you didn't reveal Yorion? I'm unsubscribing, I'm sorry. Maybe if you were better, I wouldn't unsubscribe here, but I don't know. I'm gonna go find a streamer who remembers to reveal Yorion every single time. Simply a skill issue. Yeah, chat was ruthless that day. It was tough. And now, oh yeah, Kaito's just like stalking Shadow, so you play one main, one side, you know. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I love what I do. It's all good. So if I jam a Teferi and they Violent Outburst, I get to respond to the Violent Outburst, pitch Solitude. Solitude enters, I exile Street Wraith, I bounce Titanoth Rex, keep Teferi in play, I have Verdict in my hand too. Seems like kind of good. Let's go for it. They all get to trample over the Solitude. I get to deal with the Titanoth Rex. I don't think that's true. Read the cycling ability. When you cycle, put a trample counter on this go. Okay, I see. Then I should exile this with Solitude then. I also just have a Supreme Verdict. What do we do? What do we do here? Why did I play out the subtlety? So that when they living in, they don't get a subtlety back into play. Like, I just want to put Solitude in the graveyard. That was, like, I want Solitude to be in the graveyard for when they living in, and if that's the case, like, I don't want them to also have a subtlety in play. And here, I'm going to take the kind of odd line of Teferi bouncing my Solitude back to my hand. And what I kind of like about this is that it really incentivizes my opponent to attack Teferi with 2 creatures, so I probably only take 3 damage, and then I get to Verdict next turn with Solitude still in my hand. What cards am I looking for? I'd really like to find Jund Triome, Obnixilisc, Jund Charm, Esper Charm, the Conniving Bird, the Tainted Remedy. Your pet card. No, not Tainted Remedy. The 2-mana draw 2, discard 1 at instant speed. I have like, I think 4 or 5 decks prepped with like a few more I'm working on at the moment. Yeah, the instant speed Charted Course. I like that card a lot. I kind of wish I put it on the higher up on the tier the more I think about it. All right, love to just untap here with Windswept Heath Counterspell up. Can I try the Espermentor deck upgrades? Yeah, I would. It's built. That's one of the prep decks. I even liked that deck last time I played it without the new upgrades. I'm really excited for that one. If you can consistently use that card without discarding, it's really, really good. Yeah, I don't think that that's gonna be very likely, but I do think that there are like a decent, or there's some decks. There's some decks that have this really weird want to both play a lot of counter spells and also have a 2-mana looter that doesn't give you card disadvantage. It's like really niche, but like in decks that want to both have looting effects that don't give you card disadvantage, Espermentor, Inverter, Inverter Reanimator maybe. I'm countering the grief. Yeah, sorry, it's just like a really weird narrow space to occupy, but like decks that play counter spells and want an instant speed looting effect that's not card disadvantage is the like very narrow space I think that this card occupies, and I think it is pretty good at this. Okay, if my opponent's last card is another Cascader, we're probably taking an L. Alright, no L's taken ever again. I get to see 3 snows. That's because I'm playing Living End, and this is not a matchup where I've prioritized fetching snow mana. Yeah, the record tracker always gets broken. New set release. But the matchups we've played against today are Living End, 4-color Omnath, and these are, and I can't remember what the other deck was, but these are these are not matchups I prioritize getting snow mana. If they have Violent Outburst, Counterspell up, good for them. If I had to guess on a scale of 1 to 10, how much will it try and help the deck? I mean, that scale of 1 to 10 for something like that just means nothing. You know what I mean? Magic is not, it's not a game like chess or like even poker where you can like mathematically quantify how much like an upgrade from Triome will help. It is a nice upgrade. It will win you games that you were losing before. It is not, you know, the biggest deal ever, though. And I don't know how to quantify that in a number. So I don't think my opponent has Violent Outburst. We're losing to that anyways. I think I'm going to get counter back here. It's obviously pretty risky. If they have another Force of Negation, then I'm feeling pretty good because we're beating Cascader plus Force. We're losing to Cascader Force of Negation anyways. Will Dredge play any of the new Triomes? I really doubt it. Dredge's mana is also like, yeah, I really doubt it. Tap lands and Dredge are really bad. Dude, no. Riverwinder. I guess we have the Death Touch. I do have a Junless prepped, yeah. Just need the Triome and the Charms. Just gonna main phase this. I guess putting 2 Living-Ins back in my opponent's deck is kind of tough. But they don't have any more Cyclers in their hand, I think. So just like making them like completely rebuild. When I've got a Solitude in the yard, Solitude in hand is gonna make it pretty tough for them to get there. Classic Bant Flood. Go, Ice-Fang, go. I mean, this game would probably just be over if I had to remember to reveal Yorion. I don't think I've ever made that misclick before. Oh, man. Is this like a Riverwinder? It is. Well, I got 2 Death Touchers. Board be stalled. I'm really surprised they're taking this trade, right? Like, this just like favors me when they eventually Living End. I'm not sure. I guess, yeah. And if they get the the 7/7, the 7/7 that gives my creatures -1/-1. It'll be relevant to make these no longer block effectively. Yeah, I don't know how I misclicked on Yorion. I don't know how I made the mistake. I don't think I ever have before. But I did do that mistake, huh? When are you gonna be on your normal time? You have to post it on Twitter. When am I gonna be on my normal time? I'm confused by the question, Johnny. I did post that I was gonna be live today at this time. I did post. And I don't feel like I need to post for the usual stream. In fact, I personally think a lot of people think that you have to like every single time you're going live tweet. I think it's actually like I think it hurts you to do that. I think it just gets I think it gets a bit spammy, you know. Okay, no more fetchables. Thought I had one more. Sub announcement on Discord. Well, I don't think I don't think I need to do that at the moment since do I even care about this? Yeah, I mean at the moment like I'm only I'm sticking to a pretty strict schedule. People know what the schedule is, I think. I'm live the same time every day. I don't need to post. And then like I post on days like today when I'm streaming at a different time so people know. Yellow hat. Yellow hat. Ba 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 ba. Thank you, Gab, for the raid. How did the oh no. No, I'm making so many misclicks today. I obviously meant to cast the Teferi. When you're going live, as you go on time, we need to let us know on Twitter. I did tweet it, Johnny. That's how I know you didn't check. Did I correct chesties? Yeah, I opened 50 chests. I opened a Bant Triome. Immediately went live. Open a Gen Tribe and Obnix. That's better than what I opened. I opened this and the Bant Triome and a Niv. Do you think Bant Triome can be playable on paper with lots of shuffling and practice, or still just no? I played this deck at a paper tournament a couple months ago, and I will probably never play this deck in paper again. I think it's a really good choice on Magic Online. I think you could also be brave and play it in paper. Also, it is true, the paper tournament I played was a team tournament, and team events are slower than Magic Online tournaments. On Magic Online, I never have an issue with clock management. I never time out. If games go long, it's almost always my opponents just because I'm a faster player than most players. But in paper, I just kept piloting this. This is Living End again? Dude, we've played 5 matches. 3 of our opponents have been playing Living End. Oh, it's not Living End. I haven't seen a Botanical Sanctum Springleaf Drum in a long time. They must be playing Neoform, right? Jeez. But usually Botanical Sanctum is Living End every time. But they must be playing Neoform. Lost my train of thought. But like, so I think that a lot of players have lost their paper habits. A lot of players have lost their paper habits, and I just had so many situations where I'm in garbage time, I have 7 cards in hand, my opponent's top decking, I have 2 Planeswalkers in play, but my opponents would just take every draw step, look at their card, spend a lot of time reading their card, then like just passing the turn because they have, or playing their spell, and like just not conceding so we can finish the match in a timely fashion, Thomas, it's definitely Neoform. Definitely Neoform. And again, I just feel like people have really lost habits, Okay. Nice Veil of Summer. Yeah, Veil of Summer pitches to Allosaur Shepherd. It does make a lot of sense. They also have to pay for their Summoner's Pact or they die. But I think they have a land drop to play, right? Have you ever tapped Allosaur Shepherd to Heritage Druid? I haven't. I know that they play that card now, though. There's the Heritage Druid. Oh, if they have another Allosaur Shepherd and a Eldritch Evolution, they can go off again. Poner God, thank you for the Twitch Prime. And there's the Bant Triome to save the day. I guess I'm gonna bounce the Allosaur Shepherd. They have 7 cards in their hand, 25 life. Do they? I mean, how many Gristlebrand's do they play though? I know that they waffle back and forth between 1 and 2. Yeah, they may be just not playing any. Watch all this stuff on YouTube all the time. Thank you for I love the YouTube people who come in and support the stream. It's great. Just 1 usually, yeah. And it's also like somewhat likely they drew the second copy. Why am I calling it Shepherd? I mean, sorry, it's not it's Allosaurus Rider, not Shepherd. Just mixed up the 2 Allosaurus elves. Remember the old Mana League versus Counterspell debate? I have sweaty nightmares thinking about it, yeah. White-Haters Druid and a Shepherd Jack. They play this card to, when they draw all their millions of cards, right? They are able to play 2 more Allosaurus Riders and then use this to make 3 mana. Okay, does my opponent have a second Gristlebrand? in their deck, not their hand, that they can go off with. I think that they must have one, right? Because otherwise they would be forced to cast the Rider from their hands last turn. They tutored an Endurance, which is not an elf, so they don't get mana off their Heritage Druid here if that is in their plans. Oh, and then they Endurance the Gristlebrand back into their deck. Wow. Awesome. I haven't seen Zernor before. Well, I've seen the card before, I just haven't seen it in this deck. I thought Gristle was Solituded. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so they just had the second one in the deck, but they shuffled the Nourishing Shoal back in first. Okay, so here's Throsta. What's the win after Throsta? I can't remember. You give a creature plus X for X number of life you've gained, right? It's, yeah, it's the big pump spell. I can't remember what it's called, though. I want to see it happen. My opponent's trying to deal, I think, as much damage as they possibly can. Oh wait, they already cast it. Yeah, Fortifying Draught. You gain 2 life. Target creature gets plus X on the turn, where X is the amount of life you've gained. So hit me for 46. Okay, well, it's pretty good, huh? So I'll bring in the vetoes. Oh, Dress Down kills Allosaurus Rider. I've never dressed down an Allosaurus Rider, but it actually seems great. Oh, it becomes an 0/1? It naturally has a point of toughness? Okay. It's worse then. Well, I got a Force of Negation up against Neobrand. We're gonna keep. It's too bad. Spreading Seas do anything? It turns my opponent's lands into islands, probably. It's at least better than the white cards I cut. It pitches to 4s, you know. I think I'm casting Spreading Seas this turn because it's just easier to cycle Ice-Fang down the line than Spreading Seas. If you dress down, stop Gristle, they just draw on your turn. That's true, yeah. But if they Summoner's Pact it and you dress down, don't you just win? A lot of the time, at least. Oh, so what's going on? A-Rock, 9 months. Lotus deck. Pioneer been fun to watch. Yeah, Pioneer's been great. Glad you're liking it. I mean, I can't force this. Although I win here, right? Because I have the Solitude. They can't shoal or anything. They do get to draw 14. But I don't know if they are gonna be able to. Oh, I don't have a white card. No white card. Dude, killing me on turn 3 through a Force of Negation is just like nauseating if it happens. Force of Negation Teferi, since Teferi subs Pact of Negation, they have to have Veil of Summer exactly there. Keep Force. They have an active Veil of Summer. They Veil of Summer to start this off. I didn't just like forget to force the Neoform. To be fair, they fail probably 4 to 75. Yeah. I'm just saying it feels bad to lose on turn 3 when you have Force of Negation Teferi to a combo deck like this. It's a bit convoluted. But now they Heritage Druid, and then they can cast Thrasta and their haste spell. We should have Druid and Harvest a Fairy to find a white card also. I know. I was thinking it was... I didn't think that we could die, but we could die, apparently. Alright, let's see if we would have drawn the white card. Getting smashed out here today. Turn 3 through Teferi Veil Summer. Gross. Really gross. I'm actually just a Pioneer player for now on. Just a Pioneer player forever. Thoughts of becoming a pre-modern only stream? I know that Caleb and Fran are doing the pre-modern stream tonight, or maybe it's already live. Emperor through the, or it's like 9 p.m. tonight. Emperor with 8 months, thank you. But I feel like the only reason to play pre-modern is like you having nostalgia for that time period of Magic, and I don't, because I didn't play Magic back then. Will keeping Teferi in hand to pitch a Solitude have saved the game? Maybe. I think it was pretty reasonable to play the Teferi, though, to turn off Pact of Negations, right? Red-black. What is the reason behind the Windswept Heath over, like, some other blue fetch? Windswept Heath fetches a forest, and the deck plays 4 copies of Abundant Growth. Like, I looked at the list that Caleb posted for pre-modern, and I wasn't really familiar with any of them, or like we're familiar with like the old standard decks or like most of the cards. Opinion on decks with Death Ray, Shaman, Pioneer. I think Shaman's good in like exactly Rogues, not really very good anywhere else in Pioneer. Okay, just in case my opponent's on Blood Moon, I'm gonna get a basic Plains here. Preserving life total. I mean, just fetch. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you have abundant growth in your hand, you want to get a basic forest, and then you also want to get a basic forest for Ice-Fang too. The very terrifying modern playable Bone Crusher Giant. How have I been? I've been fine. Been fine. Played a lot of Magic, a lot of Pioneer. Very busy between grinding normal Magic stuff and preparing for the move. We're moving next week. Let me march one of these two now. If I wait, they can at least use the Voidwalker to play Misty Rainforest, which is probably not too relevant for them, but feels correct to do this at least. Boom Sauce at the 7, Sean at the 17. Thank you. They have one card in their hand. It's really, really bad for me if I counter the Stomp there and my opponent has another threat in their hand that they get to play. I know that taking 2 is also not free here, but I'm going to take 2 just to make sure that I can try to go Teferi into minus on the Voidwalker. Although now that I've drawn the March, I think I'm plussing. If I draw a land, I can just spend mana to exile this, and if I don't draw a land, I can pitch a card. And I think I'm pitching Prismatic Ending. Yeah, the game just kind of ends there if they have any like other threat in their hand. If I counter the Stomp. Truerock's pretty bad for us. Ice-Fang is our only out to this game 1, but at least compared to Blue, I guess we have Verdict 2. We have Verdict 2, of course. What's kind of funny is that March Us exiling our card with March means that Turok is a 3-2 instead of a 4-3. If we had drawn a land there. I guess... No, I guess we drew a land. It's still the same size. Yeah, I have the free-to-play Sparrow's Headquarters with no art. I don't have enough tickets for the art yet. Okay, so they bolt the Teferi, attack the Teferi. Oh yeah, Jace bounce. That's right. That's right. Got lots of answers. Drawing land here, pretty painful. Pretty although that's just how things have been going today. And then they draw top deck Seasoned Pyromancer. Just one of those days, huh? Just one of those days. Land. I feel like I have nothing to do but blame the Triome. I think that it's clear that the Bant Triome is sabotaging us, and we should cut it from the deck, actually. There's really no other explanation. The deck pretty powerful before the Bant Triome, pretty consistent, usually do a lot of winning with this deck. Bant Triome enters the chat, start doing a lot of losing. Can do the math there. I'll play just 3 Endurance. Yeah, the Bant Triome actually bad in Bant control, I think. Yeah, more like can't Triome. Memory Deluge. I used to play like 4 Memory Deluge over Jace in this deck, but as you saw that game, and as like I've come to learn playing Yorion decks, Yorion decks are actually more prone to mana flooding. We had a long math lesson the other day. Emperor, thank you for the 5-pack. Gotta give this up from Emperor. Make sure to thank them. 33 lands seems like too many, to be honest. Thank you for your comment. But Yorion decks are more prone to mana flood because they have more lands in them in general. They're more prone to like those large clumps of lands. And Jace and the Jaces are way better at like just shuffling those lands back in than Deluge is. Thoughts on irrigated farmland and the like. Irrigated farmland is not a playable land in Modern. You can't. The bicycle lands are not playable in these decks. This is deck's function without Yorion. Seems like without him, you might be too tight on space. I think the deck is much better with Yorion. This is... I've played, you know, hundreds of matches with this Bant control deck. I know we're having a rough go of it today. I think the deck is... I think as far as Bant goes, like, you should play Yorion, and if you want to play a 60-card blue-white control deck, just play blue-white. I think I'm passing back. Yeah, let's go to the verdict here. How far have I got in Elden Ring? I beat it not that long ago. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. Discards Kroxa. For my second playthrough, I'm gonna do it at some point. I've been busy with the move and stuff. Do I agree Elden Ring is the best game ever? I really like it. I've never been one that like is really all about favorites or anything. I usually like things or dislike them. Elden Ring is a thing I really like. I don't know if it's my favorite video game of all time, but I really like it. Okay, chump blocks to save the endurance. I'm gonna pass back, I think. If my opponent edicts, I'll flash an Ice-Fang. I don't love that. Alright, gonna bounce the Voidwalker here. Do I want to get a breeding pool here to abundant growth? I think that's fine. Why the Snow Duel? I have Ice-Fang in my deck. Ice-Fang Coatl. My opponent's saying let's test Obnixilis. A bold request, but something I think we can do. My opponent had the idea of curving Obnixilis on turn 2 off of Ragavans. Pretty clever. I think that might be something we'll try to do. I think that's something we'll try to do. You're level 150. I can't see the end. I think I beat the game at like 160 or something, Coatl. So I'm surprised you can't see the end. Yeah, treasure chests have the new cards. We played Dark Souls 3 or just Elden Ring. I've played Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Sekiro, and now Elden Ring. I've started Demon Souls, but Elden Ring came out before I finished. And I also want to play Bloodborne 2. I've actually streamed a lot of Dark Souls on this channel. I once did a no death run on Dark Souls here. I'm not like a super hardcore player, but it was fun. Sekiro was so good. I want to replay it, but I was not very good at it. I'm very new here, so must have missed it. It's been a long time since I did stream some Elden Ring, but it's been a really long time since I've streamed any Dark Souls before that. It was very early into the stream. Alright, 3 of a kind, baby. So if my opponent had an Obnixilis here, we'd be in pretty bad shape. Let's hope they didn't open any obs in their treasure chests. Did you have the boss challenges in Sekiro? I didn't know. I was barely good enough to just beat all the bosses. Tink, ob. Yeah, I guess I didn't open any. I'll discard one of my 3 Teferis. And we're probably solituding the monkey. It's not something I usually love to have to do. I might actually just take the hit here. Just take it. Yeah, I played a lot of Dark Souls 3 PvP too. Yeah, it kind of dried up like 2020, 2019, but I've done tons and tons of hours of Dark Souls 3 PvP. I streamed some of that too back in the day. I don't know, back when I was, you know, doing streaming as a hobby and not a full-time job. It was easier to just like, you know, come off work, do some Dark Souls streams, some Dark Souls PvP streams. Now it's like, oh, if I do a Dark Souls stream, I might not get a sponsor, you know. Those are some good times. Am I really gonna test it out with opponent? Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, we're gonna work together. My opponent's got some good ideas, you know, curving Ragavan into Ob. So they might have something else in the fire for me, you know. TV, thank you for the 5 months. And Panda with the 23. Appreciate you guys. Okay, glad I didn't Solitude the Ragavan. If I tried the new Jump Charm, yeah, the only new card I've been able to get my hands on is the Bant Triome. I hope to test the new Jump Charm as soon as I can get my hands on one, or 4. That is my #1 pick for Modern for the new set, is the new Jump Charm, Riveteer's Charm. I'm really excited about that card. Okay, I think I'm gonna go for the Endurance. I'd be totally content, just like eat their Crooks, get their Crooks to get their Ragavan, get a Liliana minus. And they have to have like Terminate here. It's not that likely, right? If you create a new account, you can get 2 Jund Charm. Thank you for the tip. I forgot about that hack. I will do that actually. Thank you for the tip. Okay, discard Solitude, then go March, and hopefully Teferi minus on this in 2 turns. Do you know what? It's gonna be a pain in the butt, but I'll figure it out. So I can get that going for tomorrow's stream. It's maybe better to Ice-Fang this turn. Yeah, let me. It's so bad if they untap with the Voidwalker. It's also so bad if they ultimate Liliana. Yeah, I can't let them possibly like Thoughtseize my Teferi. So I'm gonna exile the Voidwalker, discard Ice-Fang to Liliana, hope to draw land. I think the cost to be paid to be traded. I mean, I'm happy to pay $20 deducted on my taxes for a stream tomorrow. Well, tough draw. Kind of want to bounce the Abundant Growth and replay it. New Jund Charm with Pitch Elementals is possibly really strong. I think people really overrate like how strong multicolor cards are with Pitch Elementals in general. What's the new account trick? So yeah, this started like last set. It's really, you know, it's kind of a small thing or whatever, right? But so you can't buy the new cards yet. You can't buy them. You can't buy them. But what you can do is make a new Magic Online account, and for some reason like those come stocked with the cards of the new set, and that's the only way to get them for like 12 hours or something. And then you get to start creating that sweet content with these new cards. What is it, like 4 a.m. where I am? Yep. That's how dedicated I am, baby. Waking up at 4 a.m. just to get the Bant content to you guys. Can't you buy deck 2 is cool? Those aren't in the store yet. They go into storage sometime tomorrow. But they aren't available for a few hours. Sometimes they are, but they aren't today. How many Triomes you playing around the Gen deck? Just one. Don't overthink it. You don't. Yeah, just one. There's very few decks that want more than one of the same Triome in Modern. Like Bant or Team of Reclamation's like a weird exception where you're a Reclamation deck, so you have a lot of mana to cycle, and you have Ren and 6/3 card the cyclers for mana sinks. And you have Growth Spiral, so tap lands is less of a cost. How do I like participating in Modern Streamers League? You know, you created it. I didn't know you created it. I honestly like wasn't super happy with how it was when I participated in it, to be honest. It was fine. I wasn't super happy with it, to be honest. Scott, thank you for the 30 months. Appreciate you. Welcome back. I'm done for tonight, chat. We had a bloodbath out here. I got slaughtered. That being said, I'm really glad I streamed because now I have the Riveteer's Charm hack available. So we'll definitely be playing Jund tomorrow with 4 charms to start off the stream. Maybe other stuff too, depending on what cards we can get. Maybe not, but we'll be definitely live tomorrow morning for some Jung's content with River Tears Charm, which is definitely what I'm most excited for. And then Friday we're going to be likely playing some Ob Nixilis stuff, some other brews with the other cards as they become more available. Is Saga viable with new charm? No, so we'll be playing no Saga. I'll be posting the list tomorrow. I might be doing like a little bit of tweaking and tuning before then, though. So I'm going to rate Evan tonight. Evan, one of my favorite modern streamers and Pioneer streamers.